Hi, this is Robert Schein with CW3 Confidence Women Wealth and Wellness Summit.
And I'm Bronwyn Ison, also with the CW3, and I help you with your wellness.
Well, Bronwyn, one of the things we wanted to do today is reach out to everyone. One thing's for certain, we're definitely in different times. The world's sort of changed dramatically in just a short, less than 30, 45 days. And that's why we thought it would be a good opportunity for us to get together. One, what Bronwyn brings to the table is the wellness component. A lot of people are going through some things right now, both mental stress and also, when we're cooped up in our homes, maybe there's some things we can do proactively. And so she'll talk about that, and we'll sort of interview each other, one, to stay connected to you and give you something to do while you're at home right now. And I bring in the wealth aspect. In fact, if you look at the stock markets, the financial markets, they've been extremely crazy over the last 45 days. And the volatility will continue. One thing's for certain, we do know this, these are uncertain times, uncharted times. But I want to commit to you guys and let you know that, one, we will get through this. We've been through a lot. The United States has been through a lot, and financial markets have been through a lot. Most recently, the Great Recession that we had 2008, 2009. And then we had 9/11, 2001 to 2003, those financial markets, and also that impact on society. And one thing we know for certain is, while we go through things, as long as we stay together and band together, we will come out stronger on the other side. But there's a lot to that. There's a lot of things in terms of the 7 keys that we speak about. Bronwyn has 7 principles that she can speak about, but they all intersect as it relates to wealth and wellness. And so our goal going forward is to be here committed to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so grateful to be here to help people along with their wellness. I've been teaching classes via Zoom from my studio, and also been sharing my 7 principles. And we are seeing such interesting times. And like you said, Rob, it all happened so quickly within a matter of 30, 45 days. So I think maybe a lot of the American people and really the world are feeling very blindsided by what has occurred. But I am advocating to have a healthy mindset, and what are some of the things that we can actually do to get through these times. But, I think, of course, the forefront thought and topic is, where are we financially, Rob, and what does this look like for everybody? And so we're all in different income brackets, but, what is it that you would be sharing with people right now? I mean, the stimulus package, I think, may or may not have been approved quite yet. That was the last thing that I saw in the news.
They're working on it.
Yeah. So, what is that going to look like for everybody, do you think?
So, great question, Bronwyn. There's a lot of unknowns, and unfortunately, it's very uncertain and almost scary moment in time, financially speaking. The first thing I would do and recommend to do is take a deep breath. Okay, just take a deep breath, take a moment to reprioritize your personal financial balance sheet. There's some things, from obviously the essentials that we need, from the food to the rent and to all of that, and reorganize. And obviously take some time to get rid of some things that you may not need. I know that we have 4 kids at home, and my wife is doing spring cleaning a lot earlier than planned, but it's a moment in time to start taking that perspective. But from the financial side, I can speak to that. Right now, we have Congress that is going through. What they're going to do is provide a stimulus package, ultimately a gap stop, if you will, for the American economy. Think about this. No less than 30 days ago, we had the lowest unemployment in history. We had the highest GDP, gross domestic product. What that means is the goods and services, this economy was roaring about $22 trillion on an annual basis. And so if you say, wait a minute, we automatically just stopped on a dime. We had a roaring economy. A lot of things were working and working really well, which we waited a long time for that to happen. And then we got hit with this coronavirus. What does that mean? Well, there's a couple of good things that I want to share with you guys that maybe not be shared with the headlines that are important. Number one, fiscal and monetary policy. What does that mean if you're not a business major? That just means that the fiscal policy, which is Congress, they make the laws that also create taxes and everything else in terms of what they take in and how they distribute that. they're going to re-inject some capital, one, into the consumer's hands. So they realize that stores are closing and people are lining up for unemployment. And so that they're going to put checks in hands in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending upon how fast they can get this done. But they've committed to that they're going to at least burden that $22 trillion gap, if you will, that's stopped. And if you break that down, Bronwyn, think of it monthly. So $22 trillion divided by 12 is about 1.8 trillion a month. So the amount of stimulus that the Federal Reserve monetary policy has injected in terms of the system, liquidity, as well as fiscal, so the Congress, if you combine what they've just done in the last 2.5, 3 weeks, it's about $6 trillion that they're going to deliver. Again, checks in the mail, small business assistance, rent, and everything else in between for the American consumer. And they're really focused on going direct to the consumer and going really, really quickly. That's different than what we saw in the Great Recession, 2008, 2009. It took about 14 months for both fiscal and monetary policy to work together and actually get something out there. And once they did in March 9th of 2009, the market actually turned around, the stock market, and it hasn't looked back since. So I think what we've seen in the last 3 weeks and what those two groups have done, fiscal and monetary policy, the Federal Reserve and Congress, and the White House as well, in terms of some additional emergency things that they're doing, they're going to hit this with everything they can to help us lift out of this. So there will be a short-term pain. There's going to be potentially recession. There is a bear market, technically speaking, because the markets came down by 20%. But this could be short-lived. Things will change, but just hang in there. So that's the biggest perspective I would give you right now.
Yeah, I really feel, Rob, that yes, our economy was thriving, and then we are hit with this. But as Americans, I do feel like this is going to be a really great opportunity with all of this downtime that we have. I think that we're going to see a lot of innovators come to the forefront. Sure. And I think that there could be, I look at the positive side of it. What good will come out of this for the people? What have we learned? Spending time with family, being more creative, so I feel really positive about it. I mean, we have a choice, right? We have a choice to either be in the negative about it or be in the positive. I mean, I'm a realist too. I mean, things Sure. are what they are. And, they're challenging on my end too, but I do have a choice. And so when it, comes to all of this, you and I share very similar thoughts as well as principles as well, and your keys, that of having a positive mindset.
Well, Bronwyn, as you know, you've had, your past, and I've had my past in terms of counseling clients for the last 25 years of my career, that everyone's going through something financially speaking, mm-hmm. and in good markets and in bad markets, in good times and bad times. And the good news is, as you know, and we all know, that there's another side. And to your point, exactly what you just point out, you could reinvent yourself. This could be, going from what you did or what you had to do to really now change, pivot, turn, to embrace and lean forward into what you really want to do. I think one of the key take homes for us right now is in our household is that we're getting family dinners. I know you probably are too. We always have a very hectic after school activity schedule for kids. And so now we actually have the opportunity. This is a moment in time where we're cherishing. We're never going to get this time back with our kids. We're never going to get this opportunity again. And I know in a month from now, we're going to be kicking ourselves, not taking advantage of this, because we're just going to be back on a routine, moving forward and faster. So this is a moment in time that I call a blessing.
I do too. And I'm looking at all the positives with it. We're able to get outside a lot more because, my kids right now, PE at their school is an elective. So I'm taking this opportunity, and I would really like to share with everybody else, because we are home and we are in this lockdown situation. It doesn't mean that you can't get outside. I'm actually looking at this downtime as the perfect time to take better care of yourself, self-care. All right. So that's one thing that you can definitely do. I think this is the perfect time to probably get in the best shape that you can ever be in. You're eating out less.
So we don't want to be subject to the Corona 15.
No, exactly. We don't want it like the freshman 15 gaining any kind of weight. So we do have options. I mean, I cook a lot anyway, Rob. So, but the one thing is that I cook really, really healthy. So I'm looking at this as a time to get in shape, eat healthier than we were even before. I'm doing a lot of juicing. I'm doing a lot of things that maybe I have a little bit more time to do now. I think this is a great time to spend time with family.
Bronwyn,
Get to know everybody a little bit more intimately, right?
That's true. Bronwyn, have you noticed, I kind of am getting the feeling that the grocery stores are playing a game on us, because if everyone's cupboard is full with non-perishable stuff, but you can walk in right now and get fresh produce on a daily basis for juicing, just for that, but yet everyone keeps going back and getting more and more and more, and the grocery stores keep refilling and refilling and refilling. I think we're going to get to the point where we're like, wait a minute, the grocery stores are they doing this to us on purpose? Because there's only so much you can store. I mean, to your point, we need healthy food now.
Exactly. So I am definitely making it a point to buy the leafy greens and the bulk carrots and cucumbers and this and that, and I'm juicing apples and all this good stuff. But those fresh vegetables, they do go quickly, so I kind of have to spread them out. But yeah, I mean, I think that this is such a great time to be healthy. Let's change the mindset from that doom and gloom. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit more settled in now, even though it's been less than a week since we went on official lockdown here in California. But I actually have a peace about it. It's still a little bit stressful, but I also really feel like, we have a choice. I go back to we have a choice. And I think it's really important that, everybody, like you said, take a deep breath. Settle in. This is where we are for the next, 20, 30 days, accept what it is, and know that we can come out stronger and better than we were before.
I agree. And one of my favorite quotes is from one of my favorite singers, from Dierks Bentley. And as he says, it's only a mountain. So when you talk about mindset and you put things in perspective, you can literally take on that mountain and say, hey, that's it. Or you can say, wait a minute, that's bigger than me. And nothing, as you know, the way your mindset's built, the way my mindset's built, and the way our CW3 community's mindset is built, it's only a mountain is the best way to think about it.
Exactly. And we are all in this together. So It's not that any of us are experiencing anything different. Maybe, because circumstances might be different, but we're really all experiencing the same thing. So this is, I think, a time to unite and come together and support one another and mind, body, and spirit, and stay emotionally and mentally healthy, and get out there and hike and do some yoga. Of course, I always advocate that, of course. And my classes online have been really, really successful, and I was really happy to have all my online classes in place already. So I've seen a surge of subscriptions. So it's been okay. It's been okay, and we're all going to survive and get through this. And for the CW3 community, this is the best time for you to really try to hone into this community so that we can be here for you too, both with our wealth advice from Robert and for the health tips and suggestions that I can give to you.
So Bronwyn, if people wanted to follow up with you and have, how do we find you for, in-home online yoga?
Sure, you can go to e-volveyoga.com. You can join my free newsletter there, which has lately been going out daily. And you can also go to evolveyogaonline.com. That is a subscription platform. I've got a promo code that's on that website that you can enter to get a nice deal for the next 3 months. And you can always reach out to me personally from, via email by going to Bronwyn at e-volveyoga.com. And I'm happy to respond to you with any questions that you might have.
Wonderful. We all would take this opportunity to stay healthy and safe. And Bronwyn, thank you for today. We also want to reach out to our community right now and ask them to provide us questions. We're going to ask some questions. You guys are our audience. We're committed to you. We're passionate about helping you through everything. And so we're here for you. So any question, wealth, wellness, Bronwyn and I are here to help. So please start with your questions, and we look forward to sharing time with you again in the future. Take care.
Have a great day, Rob.
You too.